This is Rob Tubbett for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by Tommy Coyle. It's the morning after the night before here in New York. Tommy, first and foremost, congratulations on a great performance, although albeit unfortunately an unsuccessful performance against Chris Algieri last night.
Yeah, tough pill to swallow, being retired by my cornerman and a very good friend, someone I class like family, Jamie Moore. But in hindsight, it was the right thing to do. I respect his decision and I still love him very much. I was just beaten by a bigger, stronger, better fighter. The best man won in there. I have no complaints. I had a great training camp. I was really up for the fight and I did my best, but my best, wasn't good enough. Being tough wasn't enough.
Now, you've said all week that you were going to go and really leave it all in there in the ring, and that's really what we saw last night. I mean, as early as the first round, you guys were trading. The second round, you hurt him a couple of times, first with that left hook and then the right hand. When you hurt him, you could see the urgency in you. Were you desperate to get him out of there and then?
Yeah, I thought he would have struggled at the weight, so I thought, I might have been able to put on some pressure and get him out of there. But it probably took more out of myself than it did Chris. I just had a coffee and some breakfast with him there, and I said, you know what? I said, you could tell how experienced you was in there because, you just shut up the shop. You just, you tucked up, you stayed relaxed, you stayed composed, you weathered the storm, regrouped, and went again. And it was a great performance by Chris. He showed that he's a world level fighter, and I'm not a world level fighter. It's as simple as that.
What next for you? I mean, we've seen you win the Commonwealth title down at 135 pounds. You're now at 140. I think it's fair to say that your stock will have risen last night, even in defeat. Are you still looking at? Is it a bit too soon to be thinking about the future, or what are your thoughts at the minute?
I had a real clear plan going into the fight. I was going to fight Chris Algieri, all being well, win, get the fight with Hooker for the world title, and then have one more fight in my hometown of Hull. But you know what? I've woke up this morning and I had to visit the hospital again last night for a CAT scan on my eye, because the reason why Jamie pulled me out was because I made the mistake of going back to my corner and said that I'm seeing double in there. I maybe shouldn't have said anything and just tried to just kept on gritting it out. But I think why me saying that it scared Jamie, and he made the decision to pull me out. But I don't know where I'm going to go from here. People always have one too many fights, and then they end up getting stopped or, putting in a bad performance, and that's how people remember them. To maybe finish at Madison Square Garden won't be such a bad thing. I know I didn't win and I was beat fair and square, but I went out on my shield. I give 110% as I always have done in my career, and maybe that's the right way for me to go out. I don't need to box, do you know what I mean? I box, one, because it makes me a better person, because I'm a physical kind of guy, and two, it just makes me a better person. But financially, I don't need to box. I have a lot of things going on back home. Maybe it's just time for me to spend some time with my children and bring them up and make sure they're determined and learn how to persevere and just make them smart in life.
I appreciate it's very raw. I mean, being the fact that you only fought a matter of hours ago. Yeah. Are you going to take a bit of time, reflect, go back with the family and regroup?
Yeah, I want to go home, see my children, regroup. I've got some work commitments this week. I have a big day on Tuesday. I work a lot in the community and I've committed to doing the social mobility pledge. So I'll be back in work on Tuesday. My Box Clever bus, it's the graduation week when I get home for Orchard Park and Preston Road on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, I'm straight back to work, and I'll give where I go some real consideration. I don't know what's next. I don't know. Listen, I know one thing, I'm not a world-class fighter. I'm tough, but sometimes tough ain't enough, and I don't ever want to leave the game with a sour taste in my mouth. I want to come away from the game with all my faculties intact, and remain still in love with it.
Let's just touch on the stoppage. You mentioned obviously going back and talking about having double vision at the time. What was your immediate feeling when Jamie waved the fight off?
I was gutted because I think when you're in the fight, you don't know how it's been perceived back home, and I didn't want anyone to think that what we call spewed the fight. I didn't know that the corner was. I think the corner captured what happened in the corner between me and Jamie, from what I'm seeing on social media. But I was just devastated to be stopped, especially in Madison Square Garden. I'd dreamed about this moment for 12, 15 weeks, since finding out I was fighting here. And, I'd actually visualised me saying at the end of the fight similar lines to the one in the Rocky film, like, to my kids back home, I did it sort of thing. But, you know what? I've had a great trip. It's been such a good time. And, memories for life.
Well, I'd echo that. I've been around you all week and I've seen you smiling and running around. You really look like you've had the time of your life, which is fantastic. Final word on your fans. I mean, for usually back home, and this is no disrespect to anybody who boxes at 5:30 back home, but the atmosphere is fairly different at 5:30 usually. Yeah. Last night when you and Chris Algieri boxed, there was a lot of fans in there screaming for you and chanting for you, even after you lost and you're on your way back. Just what does it mean for you? Somebody who's, you've boxed at small halls, you've boxed at area level, you've boxed at Commonwealth title level. You're at Madison Square Garden, you get that reception going in the ring and going out of the ring. Just what does that mean to you? You
know what? Sat on a balcony in New York, having a microphone in my face and a camera. It's unbelievable. I'm a very real guy and I'm under no illusion. The fans, the weigh-in was so special, and I've got to give thanks to all the fans in the UK, all my pals, family, friends from Hull. They've made the occasion real special for me, and I'll never ever forget the weigh-in. I'll never forget last night, and yeah, it's been top, and I don't think I'll ever be able to top it. So maybe it's the right time to go out. I don't know. I'll miss it, if I do real bad, because I love fighting. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I think whatever it is you decide to do next, you've earned that right to choose. And I think anybody who's watched you throughout your entire career, not just at New York and last night at Madison Square Garden, will wish you all the best. You've done it the hard way, you've earned it, yeah. And you're in New York, Tommy.
As Frank Sinatra would say, I did it my way.
You did. Tommy Coyle, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Again, congratulations on your performance.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.